Setting up your terms and conditions is super simple. One of the great features of Tinsel CRM is having the ability to set up multiple versions of your terms and conditions, which is really helpful for people that might have multiple terms and conditions for multiple services, for example. So maybe you have one set for Christmas lighting, one for permanent lighting, one for landscape lighting, etc. Or maybe you just do Christmas lights and you have one set for residential clients and one set for commercial. So you have a couple different ways that you can go about this. But let's dive right in and I'll show you how to get set up. All right, so first thing you'll need to do is you need to come over to Tinsel CRM and you want to go down to your settings and then go up to proposals. And then all the way down the bottom, on the right-hand corner down here on the bottom, you'll see this terms and conditions section here. Okay, so you can see I already have a few set up, one for holiday lighting in the lease model, one for landscape lighting, and one for permanent roof lighting. But let's assume that you don't have anything going on yet. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and click on New. And we can name this one Holiday Lighting Sales, assuming this is the sales model. And then for the content, let me go over to our templates on another screen real quick. You can find these proposal templates on the support website. So let me go ahead and just copy from here and paste into here. Obviously, you're going to want to edit all of these to say, not Christmas Light Company, but your name. And then you're also going to want to go through and make the terms actually match what you guys offer. But for now, we'll keep it nice and simple. And then we have this option down here, set as defaults. And I'll talk about that in just a few minutes, but let's go ahead and click on save. And you'll notice we now have a template here called Holiday Lighting Sales. Okay, so it's super easy to add new templates. What I want to show you down here, this version. So within each of these, we have multiple versions, okay? And the reason for that is, let's go ahead and say, we created this and we forgot to change Christmas Light Company. So let's go in here and change this to my company name, Elves and Ladders, right? And then we can go ahead and save that. It's going to update now across all of the new templates. And so what we can do is we can actually go over to a project and create a new project. I'm going to call this sample just for this video to keep it moving. And then when I create a new proposal, now over here, I can choose from my terms and conditions. Okay, so let's go to Holiday Lighting Sales, the one we just created. And the terms and conditions version is 1 because we've only created one so far. Let's go ahead and view this proposal. I know there's nothing on it yet, but you'll see the terms and conditions down here. Now we can go through and read and say, okay, Elves and Ladders, and then go, oh no, we forgot to change this. Or maybe instead of our templated thing that says 50% proposal due, maybe it's actually 25% in your company, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you just want to go back and change one thing. So let's go ahead and go back to our settings, back to proposals, and let's see. Let's go back to the sales, the one we just created, and let's just change this to 25%. When I go to click on save, technically this version is being used on a proposal because we just added it to that sample proposal. Once that happens, you can no longer edit version 1. Instead, it's going to keep version 1 and create version 2, okay? And the reason for this is, if we edited version 1 and instead of it being a mistake, maybe we wanted to change something in our actual terms. If we edited version 1 and it was being used on already accepted proposals, technically we shouldn't be able to change those, right? Because it is a contract that your client has signed. We don't want to go back and change things just because our software doesn't let us do it the other way. So instead, what we do now is we keep version 1 available. And then on version 2, it now says 25%. Okay, so this is helpful for things like mistakes or if you want to change something for one-offs. Okay, so let's say that we're going to change version 2 to the default now. Version 1 is still available. Okay, so let's assume that version 1 is a 50% deposit and version 2 is a 25% deposit, and that was the only difference. Well, now you technically have two sets of proposals within your holiday lighting lease that just changes based on which type of deposit you want. Okay, so could be a little bit confusing. I understand that, but to keep it simple, you want to select your template first, and you want to keep these templates. Think of these like folders. Okay, so folder one is going to be your holiday lighting lease. Folder two is landscape lighting. And then within each one of those folders, you can make adjustments. You don't want to just keep creating templates because then you're going to have a whole bunch of templates in there and it's going to get really confusing. Okay, so now if I go back to this project here, let's go ahead to projects and that sample project we created. I don't want to use version 1 now. I want to use version 2 because that's the one that has the correct 25% deposit, for example. Okay, super simple to do that. Now, if we go back to our settings, we can actually go back to our sales and we can archive version 1. Let's assume it was a mistake, right? We didn't want that to show up anymore. We can go ahead and archive it. And then what happens is when I go back to this project, let me go ahead and do it the quick way. When I go back to this project now, if I go to sales, there is no version 1 showing up. So if it is a mistake, you can hide it forever. You don't ever have to actually see it again. Even though we're creating all these different ones, you can hide the mistakes. So that's how you work with terms and conditions on your proposal. If you need any help at all, please reach out to us. Get at us on the support desk. We're here to help. We are happy to help. And talk to you soon.